from the historic Ham Building in St. Paul, it's the Haberdasher's Couch. I'm Kendrick, inviting you to the show, starring Heimie and Keith, featuring Todd Walker, also featuring Amye Scharlau. And now, ladies and gentlemen, here's Heimie.
Happy Fashion Friday, and welcome to another show of the Haberdasher's Couch where you don't have to pay somebody to listen to you. And hey, thanks for listening last week. We had a lot of really wonderful comments on that show, Keith. They referred you as, what was that, Kendrick? Intelligent?
Crazy?
Wise. They called you wise. You and Amye wise.
Amye,
big shout out. Big
Thank
shout
you,
out, Amye. You both are wise. Were clothes better than they used to be, Keith?
They are.
And
because I think there was examples that we can follow, right?
Right.
And you just kind of follow those examples and improve on them. Like,
sure.
Like this is how life is.
So I'd like to say that fashion, fast fashion, is affordable, more affordable than it's ever been. Back in the day, you know, let's say the roaring days of clothes, the golden era of clothes, where, you know, that sweet spot between 1920 all the way up to the 40s, when we started seeing the Industrial Revolution really take place with technologies and clothing, right? So then now we have computers.
I'm almost as old, I can remember that.
Well, I mean, you go from hand cutting something, right, to programming it into a computer, and then a pattern's cut on an AutoCAD style system on a laser bed, multiples. Tolerances are tighter, right? And people always say, well, I want bespoke clothing. Well, okay. Bespoke clothing is exciting and fun, and it has that artistry nuance to it, right? But, you know, I like the handcraft sensibility too. But tolerances today in sewing machines, you know, blind stitch machines, tack machines, they have such great stitch uniformity that they actually can be a stronger stitch line, right? They can sew them faster. They can add some elements to those clothing that are probably more affordable to do now, where they couldn't back then.
It is, and also it's less time consuming.
Yes.
So that's one of the things that improves
with
everything. So you still get the quality, and you don't have to wait. You know,
don't have to wait.
Weeks. No, but I mean, life is that. But to make beautiful garments, and on top of it, so some of those things to make the fabric and design, so you can have great self-expression like that, which we make here at Heimie's Haberdashery.
So, what would you say to somebody that walked in here and said, "I have never had custom before, and I'm a little intimidated by it"? How do you make them feel better about what their purchase is going to be and what they're going to, in the result, is going to be?
Just sit down and go through the process. Give them information. So people are generally intimidated by things they don't know much about. So the more you give them the information, not overload, but because step 1, 2, 3, and that's what we do. We kind of walk you through the process, the timeline, and the great thing about, if you say social media, is that you have examples. Again, that's what I said. Why clothing, why the say good, better, best, it's still in good stead, is that you do have examples, right? You can say to someone, well, you might not know what you want now, but what is the occasion? What is the aesthetics that they're going to be in? And then you can kind of guide them through that based on our expert opinions and being in those areas, right? And then saying if someone wants a great self-expression garment, we can do that now, and also have them have the confidence to do that, to wear their clothes, particularly men, so they're not feeling ostentatious and uncomfortable. So you kind of start there before you even look at the material.
So what we call made for you. We have bespoke, made to measure, and made to order. Those are 3 categories that we have, right? And each one has a system of measure that's deeper in breadth than others. Right? And so, and different expenses, right? So we're, you know, that made to order, made to measure, we kind of sit in between that really nicely. So it's affordable, good quality. You get to get things that are uniquely you. And for a great price. So we got to take advantage of custom clothing right now because we're lucky to have.
It's a great form of self-expression.
Unbelievable.
It's a great form of self-expression, which even piggybacking off of the mental piece that we were talking about last show, is that it puts your mind at ease and really allowing you to live your best life, right? It's like here's what your style is, and your style is sometimes even how you just operate in your daily life. So sometimes we can push away from that and still be comfortable and understand, like, I really didn't know I loved this coat until I put it on.
Right.
So it really is a mental release behind certain things, and or knowing that no, this is not me. So there's I mean, not to make it too deep, but there are a lot of I would say personal satisfaction in helping someone kind of reach their style.
He is, folks, very insightful. He is very intelligent. And he is here for you in all your spring custom needs for your wedding, right? This piece was made out of our Italian line.
So you caught me caressing
the artisan collection. So come down and see Keith. Come down and see us. Thanks for letting us show you a little bit about custom, and we'll see you next week.
About Town, Todd Walker, entertainment, travel, and more. Hey Todd, what's new?
Happy Friday. Welcome to another show on the Haberdasher's Couch. You don't have to pay somebody to listen to you. And I'm fortunate enough to have Todd Walker, Todd About Town, back again this week, giving us more updates on what the heck is going on around town.
Things are starting to pick up. Last week it was kind of grim that there wasn't much going on right after New Year's, and then going into the first week of the year, it's always kind of a little bit slow. So, yeah, the first thing on my list is Funny Girl, which I went to the opening night deal this week, and it is, of course, the story of Fanny Brice, and wants to make it in the theater, and the rise of her career and the demise of her marriage, but it's a great show, and of course Barbra Streisand made the role famous. It was one of her biggest one of her first major roles, and then it was just recently on Broadway with Lea Michele from Glee that played it, who had outstanding rave reviews. So I was anxious to see it, and it was good. I mean, it was a good show. It's worth seeing, and getting out in the winter.
So William Ryler did the original, the film, the 1968 film. But prior to that, was it 64? Was the Broadway? That's when it.
Yeah, but I know it wasn't really. Yeah, this book was redone. Oh man, now I just forgot the guy's name.
Did Streisand do both of those? The 64 and the 68 film. So she did 64 Broadway. 68 film?
Yeah, Harvey Feinstein. Yeah, Harvey Feinstein redid the book. But it was great. Yeah, we go down and see it, and embrace theater. There's two local talents that are in the company. One of them is a dance instructor, a dance captain.
So it's a pick-me-up show.
Yeah, it's fun. Awesome. Come on. Tell me what songs come to your mind right away. Don't look at your sheet.
Well, I know Don't Rain on My Parade is the most famous one.
Yeah, Don't Rain on My Parade, and there's something about the sunshine is...
Well, people.
Yeah, people.
Yeah, I won't sing it for you.
Yeah, please don't.
Yeah, okay.
But yeah, it's a great show. Go and check it out. And then on the list is...
You Floated My Boat.
So it is the Minneapolis Boat Show. It is a fun show. I covered it for so many years for Fox at the convention center. And it's amazing to see how they... Something under
$80 you can go and see in the Twin Cities.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
13 smacks, that's
$13. I know, I put that on there. I was like, wow, this is pretty reasonable. Yeah, and because, yes, the tickets at the Orpheum are definitely expensive. It starts at $50, but it's much more. So the boat show every year is at the Minneapolis Convention Center, and they have like the latest and greatest in technology of what these boats are doing. And most of them right now are going away from fuel, and a lot of them are going to powered by hydro. Hydro is the way they're powered. So it's pretty interesting to go down there and talk to some of the manufacturers, and just to kind of gives you a feel that spring is around the corner. So now you want to talk about the U.S. Pond Hockey Championship. Another event that I have covered for so many years, and the reason I bring that up because it is so frigid. Standing on Lake Nokomis, or I've covered them out on Lake Minnetonka. You stand on the middle of that Lake Nokomis or Lake Minnetonka, wherever they do these pond hockey championships, which there are two. So this has been going on for a number of years. It brings teams in from all over. It's been going on actually I think since 2006, but This year they were having a big, huge issue with were they going to be able to do it because we've had such warm weather, and now it looks like it's definitely going to go out. But it's free to attend.
Sure.
You go, and it's just kind of like good old-fashioned, hockey is what it is. So it's kind of fun.
And I am so glad that you're into hip-hop and rap, because I don't even know who Travis Scott is.
Yeah, Travis Scott will be at the XL Energy Center on the 20th, which is Saturday night at 7 o'clock. Tickets start right around $50 and go up rapidly after that. But he's on tour and
sold out.
Doing his. It's
sold out show.
His tours have sold out, but there are still tickets available.
Okay. Oh wow!
Yeah,
only $50. Started at $50. Pretty good.
Now the last one here. Okay. Yes.
I am so glad we had this time together. We're on the last one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. The energetic and interactive retelling of traditional fables from Japan.
Well, the show is called The Carp Who Would Not Quit and Other Animal Stories. I have not seen the show. It's kind of an interesting title. Yes. It sounds very interesting. Invigorating show from Hawaii. Great music, evidently, and it's supposed to be interesting.
Children's Theater Company.
Yep,
$15.
Which they always do such an amazing job. I mean, I saw The Grinch this past holiday season, and this is the final season of the director there. That he has been there for like 20-some years, and he's leaving. And he's just a really super guy, so it's going to be sad, but they've already hired the new guy that's coming in, so that's great.
Well, I am so glad that you're in a bit doing your thing.
Okay.
I need to get in a bit and see some of these shows, folks. And I want to say thank you for coming in today.
Oh, sure. Absolutely. And if you have any ideas, I have had people share some of their ideas with me. Keep them coming in because it is a slow month of January. And somebody actually sent me the one for the Children's Theater that had seen it.
All right.
So I appreciate that.
We'll see you next week.
Hello. This is Amye the Hypnotist here at beautiful Heimie's Haberdashery, and this is Coffee Talk. Have you ever had one of those remarkable experiences where there are a series of coincidences that are so wild that they simply cannot be by accident? For example, you dream about someone who you haven't seen in 30 years and the very next day they call? Well, that phenomenon is known as synchronicity, and the term was coined by Carl Jung back in 1920, and he actually studied this for 30 years and came up with some really interesting conclusions. He concluded that at a very deep level, if we get deep enough into our psyches, that the psyche and matter become one, and we can actually sort of affect the world around us with our thoughts. Now, this has been studied and pretty much disproven, but on the other hand, human beings are brilliant at discovering and looking at patterns. It's what we do absolutely the best. And so if something happens that brings meaning to our lives, why not embrace it? I was at a beautiful memorial, and a butterfly floated in through a window and actually floated over the whole room of guests during the memorial. And at the very end, almost on cue, floated out the window. And we were all touched and moved, and it was a beautiful moment. So when these moments happen in your life that seem coincidental, you get that call, you see that person, why not embrace it? Enjoy it. It's part of the wonder of being human. And if by some chance you were just coincidentally thinking about coincidences and dropped in on this Coffee Talk, you have just experienced synchronicity. And that, my friends, is Coffee Talk.